life, and that's different races. All right, now DNA is physical. It has nothing to do with soul. Soul dies and leaves the body. It doesn't take DNA with it. When it comes back, if it comes back as a monkey or another human or an alien, it doesn't have the same DNA. So DNA doesn't go past birth. I mean, sure.
See, that's where your science stops, because genetically we've all come from a different species, and at the root of the branch of tree of life, you have different kingdom, phylum, genus, and species. So human to animal jump, or gorilla, or monkey, or mouse, those things are practical if we all have come from the same.
If you believe in science, I don't. Science about...
then you might as well hang up, because science is the reason why we're talking right now.
Oh, no, it's not.
You have a microphone. You have a microphone. There are electrons passing through the diaphragm with the coil around it.
Science plays with the physical... Well, it plays with the physical reality. It doesn't play with the spiritual.
Science questions the physical reality to utilize it.
It doesn't.
Science experiments with reality in order to extrapolate information about it.
Let me tell you.
There's no magic.
Yeah, well, there is. Now, one thing. Science cannot prove anything beyond planet Earth. There was a real famous elder scientist that said anything outside of our Earth atmosphere is a theory. They can't prove
That's true in part.
It's true in their belief system. Right, but
that's
again,
true in part. Science can prove what happens. It can't necessarily prove why it happens, and that's another science in itself, theoretical science. But we know that when we drop a pencil, it falls at this rate. We don't necessarily know why gravity does what it does. We have ways of explaining it. When you get a bunch of mass together, it has a magnetic pole.
How much do you know? Wait. How much do you know about real magic? Anything?
I know a lot about real magic. You're talking to a Moor. You're talking to a Moor.
Okay.
You're talking to a Moor.
All right. Do you know anything about the first race that came to this planet? They came as a person. They didn't come as a symbol.
I've argued with that many times, and there's many forms of conjecture
there's no conjecture.
Yes, it is. Because if you want to go back, we can say the Nomo. The Nomo came out of Africa. They were the first people.
No, they weren't the first people.
Okay.
They didn't build the pyramids.
See how we disagree? And none of us can prove actively now that it's true.
Here's something that I can tell you. Personally, me and my partner, who I work with for years, have more proof than anybody in the United States about UFOs, aliens, and creatures. We have more direct proof than anybody else out there mainstream. All right? Now, I met with beings, he met with beings, we were close to ships, and all that kind of stuff. That's besides the point. They were here before planet Earth was created. I mean, they came here after it was. If you know anything about one of the most famous people in the UFO world, his name's Billy Myers. All right? And he was the first person to go public. He wrote 100 prophecies, which his race gave him, which was called the Pleiadians. And they gave him 100 prophecies that 90 of them came true within the past 50 years. 90 of them.
The Nomo predate the Pleiadians.
No, they don't.
Yes,
who
they
could
do.
Prove that? Okay,
you're
a scientist. Prove that. They can't even prove how old the Shroud of Turin is.
Well,
they
we
can't
cannot
prove it.
say that the actual story is the way that it is. However, they have a story where people came from the sky down to Earth and created civilization. This is the same story all over. You're saying the Pleiadians.
No, it isn't. No.
I just think it's the
first race.
Aryans.
No, there's multiple races. To say one race is responsible for anything, like more people want to believe Zecharia Sitchin and say the Anunnaki is the most important race. It's not true. All right, the native people call it.
As far as I'm concerned, the Anunnaki are the farthest from superior.
All races, native races, call the beings that they dealt with the star beings. They dealt with Bigfoot and they dealt with the giants in the United States. So they talk about the star beings. They don't know what race it is even. I was and so all over the United States. I got to be with just about every tribe in the United States. I was with the oldest Hopi elder. Here's something you might need to know. The Hopi race.
I'm an Abenaki.
Okay. Yeah, but the Hopi race is the only race that has a DNA that no other race on this planet has. They lived underground. They came out from underground. They were always in the United States. They weren't brought here. There's 500 tribes in the United States. Only one of them was here in the beginning. The same as when the human race was brought here. There was one race brought here, and then there was 9 other races brought as well. There was not total of 9 races, and they were all different colors. So the black race, the white race, yellow race, green race, blue race were not the same race, ever. Now, I told you, I work with beings and deities. I mean, the Hindu religion is the oldest religion on the planet. The Emerald Tablets are the oldest stone-written document on this planet. I studied both of them in detail. I learned the word called ascension. There's only a few people on this planet that have a clue what it really means or are capable of doing it. And when you say Jesus was a story, it's a story to most people. People that don't want the truth. They don't even want to know what Jesus came here to teach. They want to believe it was love and healing and forgiveness. That has nothing to do with God. And people want to think God's the great protector, loving being, which is another fallacy man created. If you go beyond the beginning.
Have you ever heard of Ninti?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Ninti?
Maybe not.
Ninti, who gave birth to the mortals, the human being of who, the creative force of will, and the name from Latin, which means the spirit of the dead.
You're talking about one belief system. The Anunnaki is a belief system. I mean, even Farrakhan teaches about UFOs and everything else. But again, what race is the real race? What is the root race of what race? The blue race
Have you ever seen aliens?
Yes, I did.
In the flesh?
In the flesh. In my house.
Have you ever taken any pictures with them?
Go online. We shot a picture at John Edmonds Ranch last year. I brought Kerry Cassidy, who does the radio show.
Have you had a conversation with them?
I don't deal with aliens. I won't. I have a light ship that's trying to make contact with me right now. I'm waiting for it to talk to me in a direct way. It blinked at me 120 times 5 days ago. All right? And I'm waiting for communication with it.
If you want them to leave you alone, just get a 0.05 milliwatt green laser and hit them with it a few times, and they'll leave
I haven't. I'm doing that already. They're not leaving. They're here with me for a reason. All right? I'm not trying to promote who I am. All right? If you want to see pictures of things, the site's called Stranger Universe, Sargel 18. It's on YouTube. He's putting a video up every day. He's explaining who he is, what he claims to be. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but we have shot thousands and thousands of pictures of every kind of UFO, every kind of creature on this planet. I met with most of the elementals that live here, the beings that live here. I was a foot away from a Bigfoot. So when people say, well, that's not real or this ain't real, that's their choice. I'm not here to prove that. I'm here to tell you or a person that wants to learn something, the only way you're going to find out the truth that's going to be important to you is learning how to leave this physical world. Because then you'll understand deities, angels, and then slowly you'll start to understand God. But until you see, science wants to deal with Earth and bring us. Do you know much about CERN, C-E-R-N? Yes or no?
Yeah, I know about the CERN. I know about the Large Hadron Collider. I know about Atlas. I know about the whole process at nauseam.
HAARP, HAARP system. The most dangerous HAARP, the most dangerous weapon on this planet.
Yeah, I know about HAARP, the high altitude.
Well, that's the definition of it. That's a word. That's a word science gave to it. It's the most deadliest weapon we have. They can send a thought into somebody anywhere on this planet and make them believe or think or die. So it's the most deadliest weapon that way. Never mind what they're doing with it. CERN is. Do you know CERN has the most powerful magnet, and it's 4 times greater than the Earth's magnetic fields itself? I mean, you have to understand what government and science is trying to do. They're trying to save mankind, but only the rich people that they're going to be sending to these other realms and other dimensions. Not you, not me. Well, maybe you, but not me. But most definitely not the average person. the ships that go to Mars right now, they're not going to take any humdrum person up there because they want to go there. I mean, sure, millionaires are trying to get up in space and travel around the planet and stuff, but they're not going to be taken to Mars, not on our ships, and one's the Delphi and the other one's the Aurora. And both of those ships are capable of going to Mars. Trump just came out after he saw Putin a couple months ago and said, oh, I want to have it so that we land on Mars before I leave office. He was already told that we are on Mars. Otherwise, he would have said the most ridiculous thing if he didn't know that. Second of all, he said he created a space army. We have a space army. It was created a long time ago. But when he met Trump, something happened. And I will tell you this, and then nobody's saying a word about it. I heard it. My friend speaks Russian, and he was on Russian TV. 3 months before Trump got elected, he said, I want Trump to tell the truth about 9/11. And there's not one fact of truth on that. Science will not prove anything of how it really happened. Second of all, he said, I want Trump to tell the world what they're doing with the alien races. Then Putin said, we're dealing with 37 races right now. 2 of them want to destroy this planet. And I know we had 3 major battles in space. Whether you want to hear that or not, that's a different story. So there's a lot more what science is really doing and what they feed us. I mean, this year they'll tell us eggs are beneficial. Then they'll say this is beneficial. They'll come out with one cure for hepatitis C, charge $70,000 for it. So science isn't helping mankind move forward at any kind of spiritual level. And they're not going to help us understand any true aspect of God. Neither is any religion group. They will not explain what God really is or what God created mankind for, and why it even made the lower worlds, which is beyond the astral plane or lower than the astral plane. If you ever travel to the higher worlds, the highest plane that soul can go to is the 5th plane. There's a deity or God that's there, and very few people will ever get to see that deity. I mean, there's a name, but I'm not even going to say it because most people want to believe in Shiva, Durga, Kali, all those kind of names. But Green Tara, I met with, I worked with Shiva directly for 2 years. And I tell you, it's one of the most powerful beings. He's the creator of life and death in this lower realm, if you want to believe that. But prove it to yourself. And that's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter what I think, whether I'm crazy or not. It matters to you.
I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. I think that as the more and as I was taught in the science, there is a time in history where science was the religion. Practice was the religion. Before it has been bastardized into masonry and what some people call the Illuminati. All of that magic is us. And it is actually us on a higher mental plane. Now, what they're doing at CERN and those things, they are pretty much doing what a mind on a higher plane does. And when you're on a higher plane, it's nothing more confirming than the success of you putting into application that which you know. And that's all that they're doing at CERN. I've never seen a demon. I've seen aliens, but I've never seen a demon. I've spoke with aliens. I've never spoke with a being that has horns. These are creations of people's imagination. The things I have experienced can be discounted by anyone.
How do you know the alien you spoke to wasn't a deity?
How do I know that it wasn't?
Right. How do you know it wasn't?
How do I know that it was?
You don't. What I was going to say is,
I only know what they told me, and man knows naught by what he's told.
Well, there's very few speakers all through history. The Mayans worked with an alien race. The Aztecs worked with an alien race. All right, the deities that work with the Hindu people. What's the difference between a deity and an alien? Very few people know. And I did exorcisms. I work against spirits and demons as well. And I just had the top exorcist on my show last Sunday, who does 300 a year. So when you say demons aren't real, did you ever see things happen that are impossible for a person to do? When a person's possessed, when a demon steps into them, not many cases are truly demonized possession. It's soul possession, meaning spirits that are stuck here try to interfere with people's lives. I've been there. I've done it. So when people